now.
Hi, my name is Tom, and this is our EMS Minute. We're covering uncontrolled bleeding and shock. We have Greg today who has an uncontrolled injury that's bleeding from his forearm. It's an arterial bleed, so we've gone through, we've done our scene size up and our initial assessment. We've found this obvious bleeding. And the first thing we want to do is try and control the bleeding with direct pressure. So we'll put direct pressure with our gloved hand on, see if we can stop the bleeding. And Greg happens to be bleeding very badly, so I know I'm going to have to add some additional dressing. So I'm going to open up some additional dressing and place it over that injury and try and stop the bleeding. And it appears that this is still bleeding through the dressing, so I'm going to have to take more severe measures. And the measures I want to take right now is a tourniquet. And this is the tourniquet that we use. I'm going to slip it over his arm, try and keep direct pressure, and do my best to secure this above the injury and stop the bleeding. So I'm going to hold it in place, snug it down. Then I'm going to put pressure on it by tightening it as a windlass. That seems like pretty good pressure to me, so I'm going to flip it off and hold it in place, and now hopefully that bleeding will stop. I'll hold pressure as long as I need to. The other things I need to do is treat Greg for shock, so I want to keep him nice and warm, so I'll have a blanket around him. I'm going to wrap it around his shoulders, try and keep him warm through the core. He has one good hand, he's able to hold himself. And I'm going to give him some oxygen. Now I'll use a non-rebreather. It looks like this has stopped bleeding, so I'll give him a non-rebreather mask. I'll fill the mask, place it over his head, and give him high flow oxygen at 15 liters per minute by our non-rebreather mask. And at this point, I'll continue to check the ABCs. I'll hold direct pressure. The wound won't stay if I can't keep pressure on it by myself. And we'll perform rapid transport to the hospital.